Voices from the Mausoleum is brought to you by the You Run Podcast Network and yourunpodcast.com. And a very special thank you to our Patreon subscribers. Be sure to check out the Girl and the Gay podcast, a bi-monthly podcast where Beck and Jay discuss their favorite movies, available on Apple Podcasts. Hi everyone, and welcome back to our special Women in Horror series for the month of March. Angel and I wanted to do this series to celebrate the different women in the horror community who make it a priority to celebrate and prop up others' voices and really just instill positivity and just so much joy into the community that we all love so much. And we are so grateful for each and every one of these women that we're going to be talking about in this series. Like with the first episode, we're going to have all the links and tags, ats, all the account handles, what are the words, in the description below as well, so you can find them. But for today, so our first shout out is going to be to our dear friend Tasha over at the Sinister Scoop. So you can follow her at the Sinister Scoop on Instagram, I believe on Twitter as well. But you can also go to the website, thesinisterscoop.com. Tasha does wonderful in-depth book and film reviews. Super insightful, great perspectives. And she, beyond just being smart and creative, she is just a downright wonderful person. It's so funny. It's like I can't remember if it was a live. It was before I was on Voices. I think she was taking a part of like a live, or whatever. I can't remember her first interaction. But the funny thing is like you may not remember the details, but you remember how you feel. And I just remember feeling so welcomed and heard and listened to and just celebrated the first time I spoke with Tasha. She was just super super inviting and friendly, and just created a space that just made me want to just be her friend like immediately. She is so sweet. So please give her a follow the Sinister Scoop, keep up with her reviews. So our second shout out for today's Lexi Bennet, the fourth corner of Horror Fiend TV. You can follow her at Horror Fiend TVS _4th for TH corner. She's always excited to talk about horror and share her love for the genre. Every time we do a live where it's like she's popping in, saying hi. It just loves to just sit and share her perspective and listen to your perspective, and it's always like just a fun, exciting back and forth that really just kind of reminds you why you love horror in the first place. It's just like you feel like you're talking to your best friend when you're talking with Lexi about horror. So I think that's probably the best way I could put it. So please check her out. Follow Horror Fiend TV if you don't. All wonderful people on that channel as well, but Lexi in particular for today, please make sure you follow her. And then our third shout out is Alicia Davidson. You can follow her on Instagram at maybe a mockingbird. So Alicia is a webcomic critic for Comic Book Yeti. I want to make sure I got the name right. But she also, this is really cool, has her own company called Little Spooky Soul at Candle Company. I'll put the link for that down below as well, which is a health and wellness company where they make candles and aromatherapy, all spooky season themed, but all year round. And, I talk about being a therapist all the time, so not to be annoying about that, but that's important to me. And I think it's amazing to have a message like that and wanting to promote self-care within the horror community. So please check her out. Check out Little Spooky Soul Candle Company as well. Really great products, especially, if you want to improve the self-care, but also keep a little bit of your, your black horror heart alive as well. Our next shout out is Ashley Sledge over at Sledgehammer Horror. So the first time Angel spoke to me about Sledgehammer Horror, it was just how like accepting and open and just empathetic they are, and they just create such a comfortable space. I was on their channel once. I did a live with them recently, and just like immediately, just sort of like the questions that they asked me before even going on, just to make sure I felt comfortable. I just super appreciated that. And you don't get that a lot. You really don't. And you really have to celebrate those who create such a, not even just a safe space, but like a celebratory space, like a place that really celebrates you and your love for horror and really just makes you feel valued as a human being, right? Uh, and so the work Ashley is doing over there with her husband at Sledgehammer is just incredible. And I mean, their reviews, their lives, everything. Just if you don't, if you don't follow them, please give them a follow. Oh gosh, so I think to at Sledgehammer Horror. Give them a follow as well. All right. And last but definitely not least, Michelle over at wolfskulljack_art on Instagram. Michelle is an artist, but I feel like that's an understatement. Her work is incredible. I know Angel's gotten some prints, and I'm just blown away by everything I've seen her do. You can follow her over at wolfskulljack.com as well. You could purchase prints and I think digital and physical and different. You can get them on different products as well. But what's also really cool that I love that Michelle does, and Michelle is a volunteer over at Wolf Watch UK, which is a wolf rescue organization. So she's doing killer werewolf art, but also taking care of the wolves in our world and making sure that we are keeping Earth's creatures safe, and super amazing work, both on the page and out in the world. So please follow all of these women in horror. They are absolutely incredible, and we are just eternally grateful for what they bring to the community. And yeah, we will see you for our next edition of Women in Horror real soon. Take care.